when you first started like busking, like street performing, how did you like approach it? And tell me more about that progression in performing in the streets and how that experience was like, diverging in that aspect of music.
So I will say this real quick. So prior to like the 20 years of performing, I'm part of a collective right now, Cypher Squad, right? Prior to that, I was in another group in high school, and one of my other homies I shouted out in a prior interview, he was like literally my partner in rhyme in high school, I remember doing like different shows, the talent shows. Like I feel like those are like those earning stripes, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, even if there's sandbox level, then you get out of sandbox and you eventually go to whatever, this level, then da-da-da-da-da, like, like a video game, I remember going through that and different groups. And then outside of that, like being on stage and performing. So like I was saying too, I met certain like legends from 2011 and onward. Yeah. For example, like my first homie, I'll say mentor because like I don't know him, but like Rakim, he was the first one I ever met at Manifesto. Like that's a hero of mine, legend. You know what I mean? And I remember at that time, I never kicked a rhyme to him, and this tripped me out because he told me he could tell that I was an MC. I don't know how. Like I'm like I don't know. Like if he just looked at me and he's just like the aura, and he just seemed like. It was like, I make a joke, was like, as they see like, like Dragon Ball Z with the Z Scouter, like he had the Z Scouter and he sensed the power. I don't know what it was, but I never kicked around to this dude. Like on my life. And he was just like, yo, keep doing what you're doing. This is from the God. And like having that experience is like, I don't know what to say other than like, there's no room for doubt.
Yeah.
The God MC sat like, I don't know, bro. Like, and obviously I gauge it where I don't allow it for me not to remain poised and stay humble, because at the end of the day, I never want to forget where I come from. Yeah. That's what's going to help my trajectory. But anyway, in regards to performance, doing those, being in close proximity with those legends, doing shows at Opera House when I opened up for Joe Budden.
Oh, true.
Like, that's a fun fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, legit. Then after I opened up for De La Soul, RP to True Roy, who just passed, and doing that. And I was at Mississauga. So that went back to Saga Celebration Square. Then back full circle. Doing all that led to 2019, right? That's when I started busking officially. What's it called? My homie Real Life, part of my crew, beatbox MC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so say less. So we had the Sunset Cypher in Trinity Bellwoods, right?
Yeah.
And because he hosted this hub, one of our other homies who ended up becoming part of a crew, another beatboxer extraordinaire / beatbox champion, Andre Gibson, I met him there. You know what I mean? I met him when I was outside, when I came back from a studio session. I did like a 5-6 hour studio session. I was cooking beats. I make beats low key too. Yeah, I was cooking up beats, and then went on like I got 2-hour live freestyling for like 30 people on my live or 20. I can't remember, but they're just going in, people throwing me topics, and then end up going right after to Trinity, and that's where I met Andre. We clicked like this. It was like Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, like literally off the rip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then after we're like, yo, we sound pretty dope. You know what I mean? And I remember, right now, I don't remember exactly like the conversations, bear with me, but I just do remember that it ended up leading to like, yo, Long McQuaid, let's get a speaker. Let's head to Queen and, I think the first place we went, it was Queen and John. Yeah.
And just do it from there. Nah, I got you.
Literally, that was like in terms of, to your question, busking, that's what it led to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
True.
And then boom, then we ended up doing Queen and Spadina. Then Young and Dundas, we did once or twice. And there was a lot of, like, at that time, congested competition. And it wasn't like we're afraid of the competition. We just didn't want competition because we wanted to not only make money, but we just also wanted to tap in areas that weren't tapped in at that time.
Yeah.
You know? So
I mean, with Toronto too, I think like it's explainable too. Like there's a lot of stuff going on right now with the preachers, with, the people doing the whole soccer thing and all that too, the whole climbing thing. The one girl that was like trying to do like covers like on the streets and all that. And I think also, I think this, who's that thing? There was like this band too, this guy named Doesn't Matter, It's Okay. Like he performs with a band too, so it's like very interesting too to see like what's going on and all that too, you know. So, but yeah,
absolutely. Oh, I'll say this fun fact that there was a time period too where like because people just in case I know that's one of your questions, but I want to just toss it out there. I have got approached by certain people in like I guess a KOTD or whatever, like, but I don't know, like not like I would say the G League of them. You know what I'm saying?
True.
No disrespect, but like you know, yeah, to do that, and then I don't know, that wasn't like my trajectory that I wanted to do. Although I in the mix of everything, I do have that battle background too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah, likewise, man, and you know, I think it already makes you stand out too, like with what you're doing with the audience. But you know, what kind of audience are you trying to like reach out like with your music, like when they come to the streets and all that?
So to be honest, I'm when I'm busking, I don't know if I have a chance to even say this. There's a lot of you got a lot of this is dope. Okay, so the audience when I'm out, like my focal point is not necessarily. This might sound strange coming from me, but I'm not there to just specifically just freestyle. You know what I mean? Like I am, but like my whole point is for this is to be a vehicle to back to my music. You know what I'm saying? Like the ultimate end goal for me is music, touring, like merch, everything that comes with it. But the focal point is the music. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what drives everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the audience, of course, I do my best to target, like-minded people that have interest or love for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be like, I would say that would be like my core audience. But at the same time, I don't shun away anyone that might just be a casual. Like, I don't like, for me, it's just all vibes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to sound cliche, but like, you know what I'm saying? The fan approaches up and they have cool vibes and they're interested. I'm like, yo, here's my IG. Like, who knows? Like, you know what I'm saying? They can have a Bon Jovi shirt on for like, if cool vibes doesn't matter. Like, fan's a fan or, people are people, you know what I'm saying? And I do my best to,
Yeah. And has it ever like helped you like, financially, like in that sense too, or at least engagement wise, like when people like follow you on social media? Because if it's not like the money, like do you at least get like follows and all that, like in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, I do pretty well for myself, man. I already said this on the other interview, but I was like, outside of like this, excuse me, I'm a pending Uber Eats courier or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a bone to pick with them. Like they screw me over. And certain things, like every time. Oh, by the way, I shed light on this. Part of the reason why I go really hard on what I'm doing also is like an investment in myself, so to speak. And it's like, and also honoring the contract I had with myself since I was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like never stop, right? And really dealing with the adversity of the job life. Like don't get it twisted. Like I literally went through the job life, like 9 to 5. I've also done door-to-door sales. I have a fun fact. I've worked in retail. Fun fact. I've worked in a factory. Fun fact.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. One thing along all those things, if I'm doing a job, like I don't want to like. I do my job. I'm not there like talking to the boss and spitting him like a 32 bar. Like I'm focused on the task. Like you asked me, I gotta move these boxes and stack a skid. I'm gonna stack that skid like a perfect pyramid. Oh, that rhymed. But like stack it up. You know what I'm saying? And follow orders. But here's the thing. Like for whatever reason, every time I did what the corporate, they wanted me to do, it never panned out. They were hitting me up. 2-3 weeks, yo, sorry, man, we have to let you go. Like, what? Like, and I'll be doing the extracurricular, all this shit. So I'm like, all right, so to be honest with you, y'all just gonna let me go like that? And y'all know I'm a valuable worker. Like, y'all, man. Like, I'm like, okay, well, y'all can fire me, but I'm not firing myself. I'm firing myself up. I'm getting this shit done, like, regardless. Like, that, you know what I mean? So now, like, and that goes, with like my performance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Nah, likewise. And I know like usually like when you're street performing or busking, there are like a lot of like upsides and downsides to it. So tell me more about that and what should like non-performers and viewers understand like from the busker side on those upsides and downsides?
Okay, so I'll start because I did a lot of upside. So the downside or drawbacks, I'll say like misconceptions. Actually, it's not all fun and games and roses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's times where I get tested, and not necessarily bar sense, but like, Lord knows, like my patience is
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get my doctor on because I deal with a lot of patients. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, for example, I'll go to an example when I was at a King in Portland. For example, I remember dealing with some random dude pulling up, and I don't know if we got this film, but anyway, he pulled up, and this guy seen me. He seen me. I was surrounded by like a whole bunch of like fans, whatever, giving me words, and he just like, "Yo, I'm gonna battle this dude." And mind you, I declined it like 3 times. Like I don't want I'm just doing my thing. I'm chilling. Like I'm not in battle mode. I'm like. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'll wash you and blah, blah. It's talking wild. Like, it's wild shit. And I still didn't faze me, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, you know what? And he's just so, like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you really want this? You're putting money up. You feel me? Because I'm not doing this for anyone's entertainment. And I'll do it for free. Like, I love this shit. I'll do it for free, like, free of charge. But I can't say the same if I go to the bank. I can't pay them in bars. I got to pay them. I can pay myself with money, dog. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? So that drives someone, that dude pulls up and he's like, yo, wash you or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then they feel entitled to take my mic. That's a downside. Because like, yo, like, I don't owe you nothing. You know what I mean? There's people that really have this entitlement thing. That's really bad. Like I deal with that on a daily, bro. Like,
no, exactly.
And then, but I gotta give myself credit on how I handle.
Yeah,
there's a lot of situations that could have escalated into like fists, and I'm like, I just diffused myself. I'm like, no, it's not worth it, man.
Exactly. And I mean, like, there's like times when like even an upside can lead to a downside. You know, you see someone like, you know, like a random girl like at King in Portland, you know, feeling you and all that, like, you know, throwing like ass up for a bit, and then you don't even know like her boyfriend's just like right there. So sometimes too, it's like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen next, you know, like it's like knowing like what's gonna happen. You're either gonna have a good time or a bad time, either way, you know.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? You say that, like I've actually had instances. I guess this would be a downside. Here's the thing: if there, I don't want to mention any names because, but if there's any woman that at that time twerked or danced on or whatever, like. It's all consensual. Like I make that apparent. Even if I'm in the moment, I'm jamming. Like that's on the forefront of my mind. Like I could be in my zone, but I make sure like she pulls up. I'm like, hey, bro. Like there's no strings. Like I didn't do no voodoo spells. Like it's consensual. You know what I'm saying? It's own volition ordeal. You feel me? And then it's like it's at my discretion if I want to like engage in the energy. You know what I mean? Because like I know some of these mans, some of these girls have their mans with them and they're not single, you know what I'm saying? And generally if I know they are and I read the energy, I won't even if a girl is like bad and comes up on me, I'm like, might be trouble, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, it's like one bubble can screw up the bubble of my hustle. You feel me? Like, nah.
And like, I mean, King in Portland, you're gonna have like the steppers too. So it's like, if they pull out like from the side bag too, you don't know what's gonna happen either way, you know?
You feel me? So it's like, I mean, without sounding cliche, it's like better safe than sorry.
Yeah, exactly, man.